Welcome to the Richard Sherman podcast. Make sure you like and subscribe to the Volumes YouTube channel to get more content. We coming at you 2 times a week. Subscribe now. Monday night is going to be a barn burner. I'm going to be on hand, Mitchell. I ain't been in the Seattle Stadium to watch a football game since 17. I got to be there for this one. They trying to have me raise the flag.
Are you going to be with the 12s? Are you going to be one with the 12s, Richard? I'm going
to be up there with Marshawn or something. And we're going to go in the old guys. We're going to be up there. Well, I think they got us on the sideline for the beginning. But Russell Wilson back to Lumen Field to play the Seattle Seahawks. And they got a good plan for him, Mitchell. We'll see if they can execute it.
I got to set this up, Rich. This reminds me too much of you. You go to a rival. I mean, granted, Russell was traded, but everyone kind of assumes he forced the trade to a degree. He's coming back opening week. It's weird how the NFL structures it this way. What's it like coming back? What can he expect coming back into Seattle? Are the fans going to be welcoming to him, or are they going to get a hostile 12s raucous crowd?
Mitchell, this is how it goes. He's a great former player for them. Mm-hmm. They will cheer for him when they see him. They going to scream, Russell, thank you, appreciate it. Like, yeah, cool. Russell Wilson's back. Thank you. You did great for us. You really tried. And then first pass, they're going to boo him because he's an opposing quarterback. As they should, they're fans. They're not going to love him up, him trying to beat their team. But he better win this one, Mitchell. He better win this one. He better win this one because he will not be back in Seattle playing this division for another 3 years. He's not getting another opportunity like this. If he wins, cool. He's supposed to win. That's where it's so much pressure. He's supposed to win this one. It's not even supposed to be close. If he loses, Mitchell, if he loses this game, and after what the Chargers and Chiefs have done, and even the Raiders look good.
Yeah.
Mitchell, it's going to be trouble. It's going to be trouble. People are going to be wondering if he signed that deal because he knew it was going to be trouble.
What's the likelihood he comes in there and just they don't walk away with a win?
Mitchell, I didn't think the likelihood of a lot of things happening today were very high. And so my likelihood of 3 kickers missing game-winning kicks, I thought it was really low in the National Football League, but it happened. I don't think it's a high probability, but I think there's a good plan in place. I think that the Denver Broncos are a new team with a new quarterback who's very unique in his ability to move around the pocket. His offensive line is going to have to adjust to that. His receivers are going to have to adjust to that. When you don't have expectations, the most dangerous teams are the teams with no hope, Mitchell, with no expectations. Yep. Like, there's nobody expecting. Everybody's writing off the Seattle Seahawks. Hey, they're written off. They're going to draft early in the draft. They're not going to do anything this year. That's a dangerous team, just like the Chicago Bears. Hey, Justin Fields, they don't have a great O-line. And that's how they beat the San Francisco 49ers. Hey, you went into a situation to play here or play there. Nobody's expecting us to be here. Then by the time you realize it's happening, it's over. And so they got a puncher's chance, Mitchell. I don't know. Now, if Denver wins, it's not going to be big news. It's going to be expected. But if they don't.
The Niners. Look up at the scoreboard. It was 10-0. It looked like Chicago was destined for another struggling start to this year. And then next thing you know, it's roles reversed.
Miracle on Soldier Field. The defense had him bottled up. Justin Fields was having a rough day. He had 19 yards in the first half. He was bottled up. He was struggling. And, of course, missed opportunities, penalties. They damned the 49ers. It was on the drive where they scored their first touchdown. There was a penalty to extend the drive. There was a missed sack on the play that he scored. It's just you can't have those kind of mistakes. And it's early on in a game like that where it's raining and you can't be sure of anything. You got to make the plays that are there. And that's unfortunate. Dang.
Richard, I'm going to start where I think a lot of the Bay Area is going to start with as well as the hypothetical questions. What if Jimmy G was starting this game and had played in this game? Would the outcome have been any different?
I don't know, because Trey Lance made a lot of plays with his feet. Trey Lance made a lot of plays with his feet. He extended some drives, made some big-time throws, and the water the rain affects everybody. You know, we've seen Jimmy play in the rain. There was a game we played against the Washington Redskins where it's pouring down raining. It doesn't make for great football, throwing the football. Now, could he have made some different adjustments? Maybe, but it was just one of those games where the worst possible scenario happened and the Niners took a loss. They got to bounce back next week versus Seattle, and that'll be a huge game that they got to find a way to win.
What are the positives? Are there any positives from this loss by the Niners?
The positives are it's a wake-up call. It's a wake-up call. It's Trey Lance. Trey Lance got to show some positive things. He got to struggle. They got to find some things out about their interior offensive line, things they need to correct. Elijah Mitchell is a big question mark, going down with an injury. They don't know how serious that is, but they have running backs. And that's one thing that Kyle prides himself on. So there are some positive. Deebo Samuel, still Deebo Samuel.
Deebo Samuel might be seeing a little bit more Deebo at running back again, whether he wants to be or not, right? I mean, Richard, he had a couple big moments in that game, one of which was the fumble. I mean, walk through that, how that affected the game.
That was huge. Anytime you fumble in the red zone, take points off the board, it affects the ball game and it affects the momentum. And, it gave them life. It gave them life. And that's all the Bears needed was a few plays. And you got to give the Bears credit. The Bears played good football. They played good, sound defense. They were, I can't say they were stout in the run game because 49ers, I think, averaged more than 40 yards to carry. But they made the plays they needed to make. There was a huge interception by Eddie Jackson on a slant route that Trey threw low and away and tried to keep it away from him in the rain. So you got to give them credit. They played a heck of a game and they deserve the win.
Are the New England Patriots. And I think we've been able to see a good sample size, what they're like and what they're not like without Tom Brady at the helm. I mean, now this is a very serious question. It's going to be thought-provoking. How in trouble is Bill Belichick's legacy without having Tom Brady manning the ship for him?
I wish I had the trumpets and could do the meme. You is in trouble. Like, they are in a lot of trouble. First off, Matt Patricia, like, sometimes it's better to just be in the background of things, Mitchell, and but sometimes you don't need people to know that you doing things. You know what I mean? Because right now it's rough. Now, Mac Jones didn't have the worst game. The offense didn't have the worst possible game, but they didn't look like they did last year. They were firing on all cylinders last year. I mean, it did not look like it did last year. And so there's going to be a lot of questions throughout the season. And Miami Dolphins and Mike McDaniel, who is much maligned. Everybody's talking about how is he going to do. A lot of Tyreek Hill talking about Tua's better than Mahomes. And a lot of, look, Tua showed up now. Give him his credit. He didn't have one of them 90-yard games that he was having his rookie year where it was like, hey, he might not be it.
Tua might give Miami a shot. And that's what we talked about on the first podcast. I know you don't believe in them as division hopefuls, going obviously with the Buffalo Bills juggernaut that's in the division. But this team sneaks into the wild card. They get the right matchup. They could do some stuff, Rich. I mean, they got legitimate weapons. They got burners on the outside. Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle. They got some good backs. Your boy Raheem Mostert. They got legitimate speed. I mean, all those guys can run 4.3.
Right.
You don't let speed out the bid. They got a lot of speed, Rich.
First off, I don't understand how Tyreek and Raheem are in the same locker room and we still haven't seen a race. I need the race. This offseason, right after the season's done, I need the race. 23 miles an hour, Raheem Mostert. Tyreek Hill is the cheetah. I ain't seen you go 23 miles an hour. I need the race. But you're right, Mitchell. They could be dangerous. They have a good defense with good players. Come on now. Their secondary is good. They can play man-to-man coverage. Like, Xavier Howard is still one of the best corners in the National Football League. I mean, they're a little banged up at the other corner. Byron Jones has been banged up, but they can bring pressure. Like, they can do it. And Mike McDaniels is a brilliant play caller in the run game and in the pass game. Another one of the Kyle Shanahan, McVay, the West Coast tree. It could be cool, but they're not beating Buffalo.
As Tyreek said, Mike McDaniel's got some kahunas on him, man, going on 4th and 7, going for it. I mean, this is new age football. This is, throwing caution to the wind and letting it happen. And that's how you win football games. I mean, we saw it with Brian Dable today, and going for 2. I mean, luckily his boy Randy Bullock missed that field goal, but, that takes some serious kahunas too. And these coaches are are playing for keeps right now. I think conservative mindsets are out the window, you know. But Rich, I'm with
politics,
you. Raheem, no politics. Raheem Mostert against Tyreek Hill needs to happen, and it's going to happen. Throw in Jalen Waddle as well. I want to see all three of them battle it out.
Right. I need to see that race. It's pay-per-view TV. Look, if you want to charge a little fee to get everybody in the dough, find an app or something.
You know
I'll
what?
pay my little
We're going to host it live right here on the Volume. We're going to live stream it, Rich. We're going to take the podcast out there on the road. We're going to have all three of them on it, and we're going to force them to run.
I can't wait. I mean, you know, they're hard to catch, so we might not be able to catch them if they don't want to run. But